The night was colder than usual, the kind of cold that slips through even the thickest coat and clings to your bones. Snow fell in slow, delicate flakes, swirling in the glow of the streetlights like silent confetti. The road stretched endlessly ahead, dark and lonely, and the only sound was the faint hum of tires struggling against the icy pavement. Inside a rusted blue sedan, Emily Carter gripped the steering wheel tightly, her knuckles white from tension. Her breath came out in small clouds that fogged the windshield, and the old car heater rattled weakly, doing little to chase away the chill. She glanced at the dashboard. The fuel needle hovered on empty. "Not now," she muttered, her voice trembling. "Please, not tonight." She had been driving for hours, heading home from her second job at a diner on the outskirts of town. It was nearly midnight. Her shift had run late, and all she wanted was to crawl into bed beside her 6-year-old daughter, Lily, who was asleep at her friend's house. But fate, it seemed, had other plans. The car sputtered. The headlights dimmed for a moment, then steadied. Emily's heart pounded. She pressed the gas pedal gently, whispering a small prayer. Just a few more miles. "Please." The car coughed one last time and rolled to a stop at the side of the road. Silence followed. The heavy, unforgiving silence of a winter night. Emily sat there, frozen for a moment, staring at the dark stretch of road ahead. Her phone sat dead on the passenger seat. The battery had given up hours ago. She laughed softly, the sound shaky and bitter. Perfect. Just perfect. She opened the door, and a gust of icy wind slapped her face. Snow crunched beneath her worn-out boots as she stepped out, pulling her coat tighter around her. A small gas station sign flickered faintly in the distance, maybe half a mile away. Emily hesitated. The world felt endless and empty, but staying in the car wasn't an option. She locked the doors and began walking toward the light. The stranger in the snow. The wind howled across the highway as Emily trudged forward. Her feet were numb, her hands stiff. Every breath burned her lungs. By the time she reached the gas station, her eyelashes were dusted white with frost. The place looked half asleep. A small building with flickering lights. A single pump and a convenience store with fogged-up windows. She pushed the door open, and a bell jingled weakly overhead. Inside, warmth rushed over her, carrying the smell of coffee and motor oil. Behind the counter sat an old man reading a newspaper, his glasses perched low on his nose. "Evening," he said without looking up. "Rough night to be out." "Yeah," Emily replied, trying to sound calm. "Ran out of gas a mile down the road." He looked up, studying her face, the exhaustion, the worry, the red in her eyes. "You got a gas can?" She shook her head. He sighed, set his paper aside, and pointed to a dusty shelf. "We got one there for $20, Emily froze. She dug through her purse, a few crumpled dollar bills, some coins, a half-eaten granola bar. Maybe $6 in total. Her paycheck had gone straight to rent and groceries that morning. Her heart sank. I don't have enough. I just need a little gas to make it home." The old man frowned, not unkindly. "I'm sorry, ma'am." "Store policy," Emily nodded, blinking back tears. "It's okay. I'll figure something out." She turned toward the door, the warmth slipping away as quickly as it came. That's when she heard a voice behind her. "How far you got to go?" She turned. A man stood near the coffee machine, tall, broad-shouldered, with kind eyes and a flannel jacket dusted with snow. He looked to be in his late 30s, maybe early 40s. "About 6 miles," she said quietly. "East side of town." He nodded thoughtfully, then reached into his pocket and pulled out a 20. "Put her gas on me," he told the old clerk. Emily's eyes widened. No, I can't let you do that," he smiled, shaking his head. "You're out here in the cold with no gas and no phone." "Let me help," she hesitated, her pride wrestling with her desperation. But when she looked into his face, calm, genuine, something inside her gave way. "Thank you," she whispered. He filled up the small can, carried it outside, and helped her pour it into her car. They stood there under the pale light of the gas pump, snow falling softly around them. When he finished, he smiled again. "That should get you home," Emily nodded, trying to find the right words. "I don't even know your name." He reached into his coat pocket, pulled out a small folded note, and handed it to her. "Doesn't matter," he said. "Just pass it on someday." Before she could say another word, he walked back toward his truck, climbed in, and drove off into the snow. Emily stood there for a long moment, the note clutched in her gloved hand. Then she unfolded it. In neat handwriting, it said, "I once ran out of gas on a cold night, too. Someone helped me. Now it's my turn. When you can, make it yours." Her tears fell freely then, warm against her frozen cheeks. Years later. A circle. Completed life didn't magically become easy after that night. But something inside Emily changed. She never forgot the stranger's kindness, or his note. Over the years, she worked hard. She got a better job at a local hospital, saved every dollar she could, and built a small but happy life for herself and Lily. Sometimes, when things felt hard again, she'd open her wallet and look at that folded piece of paper. It reminded her that even in the coldest nights, kindness could be a fire strong enough to keep you going. And then, one night, nearly 10 years later, life gave her a chance to pass it on. It was late again, almost midnight. Emily was driving home from work, now in a newer car, the same road where her old sedan had died years before. The air was filled with sleet and wind, just like that night. Up ahead, she spotted a small car pulled over to the side, hazard lights blinking weakly. A young man stood beside it, kicking the tire in frustration. Something in Emily's chest tightened. She slowed, pulled over, and rolled down the window. "You okay?" she called out. He looked up, embarrassed. "Ran out of gas. Phone's dead." "I'm such an idiot," Emily smiled softly. "Happens to the best of us." She popped her trunk, pulled out a small red gas can she always kept there now, just in case. The young man's eyes widened. "You serious?" She nodded, filling his tank halfway. When it was done, she handed him a folded note and smiled. He looked confused. "What's this?" She started her car and said, "Something that helped me once." "Now it's your turn." Then she drove away into the night. When the young man unfolded the note under the streetlight, he saw the same words written years ago by that stranger in flannel. "I once ran out of gas on a cold night, too. Someone helped me. Now it's my turn. When you can, make it yours." He smiled, a small, quiet smile, and placed the note gently in his pocket. Epilogue. The chain of kindness. The note passed from hand to hand over the years, to a single mother. A college student, a firefighter, a widow. Each time it carried the same message, and each time it arrived when someone needed it most. No one ever knew who wrote it first. Maybe that didn't matter. What mattered was that one act of kindness, born on a cold winter night. Never stopped traveling. It lived on in every hand that held it, every tank that was filled, every heart that learned the quiet power of helping someone in need. And sometimes, late at night, when the world was silent and snow began to fall again, Emily would look out her window and smile, wondering where the note was now, and who it was warming next. Morale. Kindness doesn't end where it begins. It circles back. Over and over, like the gentle fall of snow, even a small act, a tank of gas, a kind note, a warm smile, can travel farther than we ever imagine.